Hi everyone, welcome back to the Candid Clementine. Today in this video, I'm really excited to tell you all about my experience at the Asian Rural Institute in Japan. I stayed at ARI back this past January for 2 weeks. Staying at ARI really changed my perspective on the world. The lessons that I took away from the experience are something that I wouldn't trade for anything. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. So first of all, I want to kind of walk you guys through what a typical day looks like at ARI. At 7 a.m. we had to be outside and we would all gather in this massive circle for morning exercises. And so they would turn on this radio and it would play just like the most derpy sounding like exercise instruction. It would be like,
first the left and back again. Then the right, and back again.
And then you would do that along with it too. So that was like kind of the way of waking up in the morning and holding yourself accountable to getting ready for farm chores. And that usually lasted like 15 minutes. And then afterwards we would all divide and separate and then go into our morning chores. And so throughout this day, they often rotate who does what, just so you get a little bit of experience doing a couple different things, and then also making sure that you're doing what you enjoy. To begin, I started off in Team Vegetable, so we would start off the morning by walking up to these tables outside that were just stacked full of carrots. Like, I have never seen so many carrots in my life, and these weren't small little things either. Like, they were huge. And so the first couple days we tackled taking the green stem off of the carrots. Then we transitioned into washing the carrots all by hand. And what ARI does with carrots is they send it off to a local carrot factory where they make carrot juice. And at the time, I didn't get the chance to try any carrots, but when I came back this past summer, they were selling carrot juice in the shop and I got to try some, and here is what my experience was like doing that. Bottoms up. Oh my gosh, that is delicious. Holy crap. I hate carrot juice and this is so good. Okay, after morning chores, we would go to community gathering where somebody would present something, something they learned, something they want to teach others, and sometimes it was religion-based, sometimes it was philosophy, and other times it was just like mindfulness. After that, we would go to class for a couple hours and then go to lunch, and everything they serve at ARI is grown on the farm. So the kitchen staff have to be really creative, and I got a taste of this with afternoon chores when I started helping out with making dinner. So we would get there and open the fridge and be like, okay, we have a lot of greens. Okay, what kind of salad can I make? And a lot of times it was trial and error. There were definitely some failures in the kitchen, like when we tried making carrot cake pancakes for breakfast and completely charred a couple of them, but oops. And then after that, usually we would have a little bit of free time in the afternoons where we would all like be gathered in this common area, because the common area had a fireplace and kerosene heaters because our dorms were just so cold. We had karaoke one night. They have a big grand piano, so a couple times we would all gather around that and sing. I would say I have 4 major takeaways from ARI. Number 1 is get out of your comfort zone. So going into this experience, I knew that there wasn't going to be heat on the farm, and you know, some people might be like, who cares, whatever, but some nights it got down to like 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and when you're trying to sleep in that, like I went to bed wearing snow pants and a coat and a hat, like, and I still woke up freezing because my nose was so cold. When I went back home and I experienced being cold, I like was more hesitant about wanting to turn up the thermostat. I would just like throw on another layer because I was like, no, I can do this. I can like deal with the discomfort for a little bit. Number 2 is the satisfaction of self-sufficiency. So like I said, all of the food that ARI grows is what they use in the kitchen there. So when you sit down to eat, you know that you helped grow that food and they helped put the care and the effort and the time into making that into a delicious dish for you. And so because you had the experience of growing it yourself, you obviously don't want that food to go to waste. So at ARI, it's like, take what you need and then like you can go back for seconds, but leaving food scraps behind was like a huge no-no. And like you could always see at the end of the meal, like a compost bin. And most days it was pretty empty because people are really good about just like appreciating the food and not letting it go to waste. Number 3 is community. ARI hosts students from all over the world. So, you know, talking to everybody, I was just blown away during chores when I would strike up a conversation with somebody while I was sweeping, like, oh my gosh, like, you know how to fire dance? Like, that's so cool. I think because you are in this tightly knit community and you're constantly working together, like trying to figure things out, and you're doing new activities like chopping wood, for example. Like you're all trying to figure it out together. And then lastly, number 4, the environmental footprint, I feel like was a huge takeaway of my experience at ARI. I learned about the importance of organic farming. Back home, I always thought if you can afford to buy organic, then like you do. Otherwise it's like, okay, who cares if it's organic or not? But at the Asian Rural Institute and during my class in January, I came to understand they import most of their goods. This means food, this means like materials, like even bamboo. Being able to provide for your community is such a fulfilling feeling, and it's really special. Anyways, I highly enjoyed my time at ARI, and if you're really looking for a new experience in life, or if you're interested in organic farming, if you're interested in another side of Japanese culture, I highly recommend you checking them out because they are a truly incredible organization to work with. This is their 50th anniversary this year, so congratulations ARI. And that's all I have for today, but thank you for watching this video, and I hope to release a few more Japan videos in the future to come.